Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So this is part 2 of my luxury waterfront apartment build, or should I say condo, because I don't know, apartment, condo, kind of the same thing. Let me know which one you guys prefer. I'm probably gonna use condo for this build just because it's shorter. You know, sometimes when you upload things on the gallery you don't realize how long the name of some builds are. So yeah, speaking of the gallery, by the way, if you have been waiting to download this build, it should be available by now on the gallery, and for those of you who requested it, there should be some tray files linked in the description as well. So anyway, this is part 2 as I mentioned earlier. If you haven't seen part 1, you might want to check it out to catch up on what we're doing right now, but we are basically going to be furnishing all of the apartments that are in this condo. And there's 5 of them. So as I mentioned in part 1, there are 2 studio units, there are 2 1-bedroom units, and there is 1 2-bedroom unit, which is what I'm going to consider as the penthouse, even though there is another floor, an empty floor at the very top of this building, but it's completely empty. It's a false facade, basically, just to, you know, make this building look taller in terms of the proportions at least. But yeah, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from my first build, and I noticed quite a lot of you are actually new on the channel. So I do want to take a second to introduce myself, I guess, for those of you who are new. So hi, I'm Leo, welcome to my channel. I've been making YouTube videos on The Sims since 2013, and I am actually an architecture graduate, currently based in Manila, Philippines. And I started working full-time in 2018, and I worked on projects such as high-rise apartments and townhouses, shopping malls, and hotels, mostly doing technical drawings, as I mentioned in some of my other builds as well. So it's nice to meet all of you. I hope you all stick around, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, because surprisingly less than half of you guys who are watching are subscribed, which is still shocking to me. But nevertheless, I really appreciate you guys for just watching the video, and I hope you all enjoy all of the speed build so far. But right now we are actually working on the first apartment that we are going to be furnishing, and it is the studio apartment. So this is a relatively small corner apartment. I will say I may have gone a bit extra with the size of the balcony because they're kind of huge and maybe unrealistic, because these balconies definitely need more support than what we have here. They definitely need more structural support to be able to, you know, carry all of that extra weight, because they're just so huge. But yeah, I just find it really funny, just the balcony in proportion to the unit itself, because it's basically the same size as the entire unit, which is kind of funny for me. But yeah, this is a pretty open plan, modern aesthetic that I went with. I kind of went for more of like a minimalist, almost like IKEA-esque interior for all of the build. Not just this one. And if any of you guys are familiar with the Japanese brand Muji, I also kind of carried on their aesthetic as well. I've been really loving these kitchen cabinets as closets. They just look so much like a lot of the closets that I've seen in, you know, projects that I worked with, and even in my own condo that I live in right now. The closets that we have are really similar to that, so I just really like those. Yeah, they're not really functional. Obviously the Sims can use them as like actual closets, they can change their clothes, but there is a mirror in every unit, so your Sims can still, you know, change their appearance if they want to. And overall, I'm really happy with how the interior turned out. The kitchen is going to be the same all throughout, and I'm using this little trick that I've seen quite a few Simmers actually do. I've been obsessed with some stop motion builds recently. If any of you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know them by now, but Pazarine and Mr. D Sims, or Mr. Desims, I don't know how to pronounce their name. Sorry about that, my bad you guys. I've been obsessed with their speed builds recently. Like, bless the YouTube algorithm for even recommending them. And I mean, I've known Mr. Dissims for like a year now, but Pazarine, I've only known her for like the past couple of months, and I am so obsessed with her build. She is so talented, and I may have snatched her kitchen building technique, and it's just so good. I had to use it, and I will definitely be stealing some of their techniques as well in the future. So yeah, please keep that in mind, I guess. Also, fun fact, they are both from the Philippines as well, which is so awesome. I'm happy to see more fellow Pinoys here in the community. And we're even planning like a little reunion at some point when, you know, the whole pandemic ends, whenever that is. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting, definitely, for sure. And I highly suggest you guys check them out if you haven't checked them out yet. They're so talented, and I'm just glad to see more Filipinos in the community, because I feel like there really hasn't been a lot of creators recently from the Philippines, and it's really refreshing to, you know, have people from your same country, I guess. Anyway, moving on to the second apartment unit that we're going to be furnishing, and this is the 1-bedroom unit. Now, this unit does have pretty much the same kitchen, dining, and living room layout as the other one. However, this one does have a much larger bedroom and bathroom. I wish I could have done a better job at planning this unit. I feel like I failed. You know, my technical expertise have failed me, because that hallway, like to the left of the room that we're furnishing right now, is just such a waste of space. I feel like I could have done better with that hallway, but I don't know what else to do with that. Yeah, it is what it is, and I am just kind of basically furnishing this interior with a lot of built-in fixtures, I guess. And I think this is probably my favorite bedroom of all of the bedrooms that we're going to be furnishing in this build. There's a total of 4 different bedroom styles, and I think there's 6, if I'm not mistaken. 6 bedrooms in total for this apartment. So there's definitely a lot to choose from. If you guys don't have university, you probably would have a harder time at finding gameplay to do in this apartment, because university actually comes with a neat little feature called the roommate feature, which gives you the ability to basically have NPCs move into your household, and you can basically just lock them into their apartments or limit the places they can go to. So if you don't want them to go to a particular apartment, you can just, you know, lock the apartments that you want to live in and limit whoever gets in and out of there, basically. That sounded so wrong, but whatever. We're gonna roll with it. But yeah, this is the bathroom for the 1-bedroom unit. And once again, we're gonna be copying and pasting all of these eventually, because, you know, I can't be bothered to furnish every single one differently. I mean, I will. You know, all of the units will have variations, especially the ones that we copied and pasted, but just to give you guys a little insider tip, I guess, if some of you guys aren't familiar with how planning in architecture works. So for these large buildings, the floor plans actually just get copied and pasted. If the floor layout is the same, they just get copied and pasted, because it saves a lot of time and manpower. It's a pretty usual practice, and it makes the building cheaper, actually. My old mentor once said that whenever somebody hires them to build like a high-rise building, they would ask like maybe half the amount for the same, you know, layout, basically. So it's definitely more cost-effective like that. Yeah, but here I am just copying and pasting the exact same floor plan that we did. And that is supposed to be an elevator, by the way. We can only have 1 elevator in The Sims 4, which is really annoying, so I used these closets instead. So I was actually mistaken when I said this doesn't have any closets. We do have closets, but they're supposed to look like elevators, so whatever, it is what it is. And here I am trying to put some variations on the different apartment units, I guess. So I'm just changing the color scheme of you know, the sofa and the kitchen and stuff like that. They're the same items basically, but just to give you guys something different to look at, I guess, in each apartment. Like I said, I couldn't really be bothered to furnish each and every one. And I totally forgot to point that out when we were doing it, but outside I added some green walls, basically using some items from Perfect Patio, I believe. Those are like some hedges from Perfect Patio, and I'm using them kind of like as green accent walls on the outside, and I just rotated them using the tool mod. And right now we are actually furnishing the final unit in this build video, and it is the 2-bedroom unit, which is basically the penthouse. And as you can see, it's a special floor because this unit is the only thing taking up this whole entire floor, and because of that I also put its own elevator as well. So one thing that really annoys me in The Sims 4 is the fact that we can only have one elevator in The Sims, and what's worse, in my opinion, is the fact that The Sims don't even use the elevator. They just basically teleport whenever you enter the lot from like neighborhood view, but The Sims actually don't use the elevator just to, you know, move up and down different levels. They still use the stairs, which is really annoying. I really wish we had functional elevators. I miss like actual functional elevators. Is Sims 4 gonna go down in history as the only Sims game since The Sims 2 that didn't have like actual working elevators? Let that sink in for a second. Anyway, I'm really happy with this kitchen area. Once again, I just copied and pasted the kitchen that we did downstairs, but it is a little bit of a different layout because it's a lot bigger, definitely, and a lot more spacious. So we got a little bit more space to work around with. And here we're just working on this TV area and also just putting in some, you know, sitting areas, I guess, over here using these sectional sofas, which are cool. I really like the sectionals in The Sims 4. I know you can place them on a diagonal. For some reason, it just didn't want to work as I was building this. So yeah, also this is a little bit cramped. I tried to squeeze in a dining area over here overlooking the bridge. I thought that was a really good view to look at when you have like a dinner party or something. And of course, this is a freezer bunny build, right? So I had to have a ceiling because we are ceiling gangs. So if you didn't know, I have this hashtag on Twitter called Ceiling Gang, which is based on, you know, PewDiePie's joke from like a few years back of floor gang. So I was like, you know what, I like to do ceilings in The Sims 4, so let's just do hashtag Ceiling Gang. So yeah, like I said, because I have this background in architecture, I feel like the ceilings just play such a big role in architecture design and making things more realistic. So I do go through the extra effort of actually making nice looking ceilings in my builds. Very rarely will you see a build of mine that doesn't have some ceiling details, just letting you guys know. But yeah, I also really love rotating these shelves. You will definitely be seeing more of these in my other builds. I definitely enjoy doing this, and yeah, they're so much fun. I didn't know you can actually rotate the shelves with the tool mod, but you can apparently, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of the tool mod, I know I mentioned this in my previous builds, but I am so excited to try out Twisted Mexie's Create a World mod for The Sims 4. I have actually joined their Patreon. I'm just stopping myself from actually installing their Create a World in my game because I have so much to do, and I know that once I get my hands on Create a World, it's gonna you know, like rip everything else I do in my life, because literally everything I'm gonna do in The Sims 4 is Create a World. So I am trying to avoid it as much as I can. I'm literally avoiding it like the plague because I have a lot more things to do right now. But definitely when I have free time, I will test it out and maybe even make a video about it. But at the moment, I'm just focused on my IRL job and also on creating content for the channel, which I feel like I've definitely neglected over the past few months. Yeah, I've definitely been going through this whole thing because I definitely feel like I haven't been as productive with my channel over the past couple of months, but I just keep reminding myself that, you know, I'm, you know, doing some IRL stuff as well. I'm also trying to learn how to make CC, which is taking up quite a lot more time than I was expecting. But if you guys want to catch up on stuff, I'm always on Twitter, and I occasionally post on Instagram. I'm barely on my Instagram, by the way. You know, when I realized I was gonna be this busy, literally like Instagram was the first to go, and now I'm just only posting on Twitter and on YouTube. And you can also message me on Patreon, by the way. I reply to all of the messages I get on there. But anyway, I do have a really funny story to tell you guys. So yeah, this story is gonna sound a little bit tragic at first because our house in the countryside, or in the province as we say in my country, got flooded. So it's gonna start out kind of sad. So my mom had to fly from Manila to another island, which is my hometown, basically, just to check things and make sure that things are okay and just to check on stuff, basically. So my mom's there for like a week or two, right? And literally, like, just this morning, my mom posted on our family group chat that there's literally a catfish just chilling on our porch. So yeah, there's this flood, right? It's like, I don't know, maybe a foot deep. And yeah, usually our house is like on a foundation, right? So like a couple of feet off the ground. Literally, there's a catfish just chilling on our porch because it's flooded, and I don't know why. I don't know. Just that just sounds so funny. I should be shocked, but I'm not, because this is the typical scenes you would see in the countryside where I'm from. Yeah, if you didn't know, I grew up in the countryside. I only moved to the city for college, which is where I'm currently based right now. But yeah, I might actually post the video of that catfish that my mom sent us on Twitter if you guys want to check it out, I guess. I don't know why this is interesting for you guys, but okay. But anyway, we just furnished some rooms in this penthouse apartment, I guess. So the bedroom is pretty basic. To be honest, I wanted it to be more effortless, I guess. So yeah, the main bedroom is a little bit monochromatic, but there is kind of like a statement painting. And I also got to use one of those massage chairs that came with the newly updated spa day. And right now we are actually furnishing the kids' bedroom. So yeah, I did put like a kids' room here just to give you guys some, you know, some options. And also to have some different interiors as well, because I feel like everything was starting to look a little bit samey. So I was like, you know what, why not just make a kid's room? So I went for this more warm color scheme because I feel like I feel like the rest of the apartment is just really cool. So just to give you a little bit of variation and some contrast, I just went with some, you know, warm earth tones for the kids' room. And the last room that we're actually going to be furnishing is the bathroom for the penthouse. So this is a basic bathroom, pretty much, nothing too crazy. There is a pretty luxurious bathtub, if I do say so myself. I say luxurious, it's the most expensive bathtub in the Sims 4, so I guess it's worthy of being called luxurious. And I just love that divider, that glass divider, using the roof pieces from Island Living. Those are so cool. I absolutely love doing that in my builds. And yeah, it's kind of weird because I use the same wallpaper as backing for like the sink area that I used in the master bedroom, so it's kind of weird to have that. Oh, actually no, never mind, I'm gonna change that wallpaper. I'm gonna change it into a wooden one, which you can see me doing right here. Yep, I'm glad I still remembered the furnishing part for this build, because this was finished like maybe a week or two ago. So yeah, I just took much longer to finish editing this than I was expecting. And finally, we are working on this little balcony area over here, just throwing in some lounge chairs and a little, you know, drink tray over here as well. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my ramblings for this video. That's going to be it for this build and for this entire series as well. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.